What's up guys, Max here, and today's the big day as the latest Killer Instinct character, Aghanos, has been fully revealed in a stream that was provided from Iron Galaxy earlier. Now this video is going to be focusing on a breakdown of his moves, his specials, what he's all about, and I also wanted to quickly talk about the things I was looking forward to the most, which was seeing him in-game, because in screenshots and in general from the previous video, there was, I was kind of impressed with the way Aghanos was looking in-game, but not so much with the character concept art. But now after seeing the stream, what he does, I really want to talk about my overall impressions. And I think the initial reaction you get when you see this character and kind of the things he does and his size is a holy shit type of moment. Genuinely got that reaction when I first started seeing him do this stuff where he would like have armor on moves, where he'd put up a wall behind you, where he'd grab this giant like bat-like rock thing and smack you with it. There seems to be a lot of insane technical stuff going on with this character where he can actually control the size of the stage. He makes everything kind of bigger in general because the camera has to pan out to accommodate his size. And he does look like he is going to be challenging to use. He's not going to be just a general throw in and go nuts and jump around with heavy punch kind of character, kind of like Juggernaut is. But he definitely is the Juggernaut variant. He's not extremely fashioned to a command grab style character, but he does have a couple of grab attacks that are very effective. And I'll say it right now, in my opinion, finally seeing him on stream played out in full, Aghanos is the best character that Iron Galaxy has made. He's truly unique. He offers something that I think looks really interesting when you see a match actually take place. And even though I didn't like his character design on paper, when you see him in game, he looks effing cool. He animates extremely well. His stage is awesome. His stage ender is freaking awesome as well. Really harks back to some old Killer Instinct type stuff. And, yeah, I can't say I'm any happier. I give the character like a 10 out of 10, but I can't do that because I haven't fully played, like, actual real matches against people yet with Aghanos. So I'd only say right now he's like a 9 out of 10. Like, I'm very impressed. And even though Riptor was really coming along, and I thought Riptor was kind of like, oh man, these guys are really getting the hang of this. This is looking really cool. Aghanos is really showing off like the artistic and technical talents of some of the guys over there right now. So I'm really looking forward to him coming out and seeing how he plays and what you got to do, because apparently you really got to condition yourself to play differently when you play against a character like Aghanos. And this was the one thing that Adam was talking about repeatedly, Keats, the lead designer over for the game, was that when you fight Aghanos, man, it's a different type of fight. You have to get used to getting rid of his armor, and the character does have armor, but it's based on a resource, because Aghanos can pick rocks up off the ground and stick them inside him, and literally those each act as a piece of armor that you can absorb one hit. Now the other crazy thing is that this actually weighs the character down, like we were saying before. The more rocks you have, the slower your moves are, the slower your jumping is, but you become more of a like kind of brutal powerhouse. The other interesting thing is that you can use these resources to throw projectiles, a variety, like you can crush one up and splatter it all over the place. So there's quite a bit, and there's a lot of other situations where having this armor is extremely critical, because these rocks that work as armor and work as your projectiles also allow you to build the walls. You can stick a wall behind yourself or behind the opponent, and the interesting thing is that you can actually have 4 walls up at any given time, I think. But what's even crazier is that if you stick the walls behind your opponent, they move forward, you can put up another wall. You can have a wall collide with another wall. If that happens, it destroys the wall. But if your opponent's moving around, then you can stick a whole bunch of walls behind the opponent, and they can't get past them. The only way you can actually crash them down is by doing wall bounce attacks, and you can get like 3 points of wall bounce attacks. So they hit the wall 3 times, then it goes away. They each have like 3 hits. And, but what's crazier is that they act as your extra damage, because if you do this one special move where it knocks them forward, dude, each wall adds like 20% damage. It's freaking nuts. So if you can throw them behind a whole bunch of walls, the damage just increases a variable every time. It does scale per wall. It's not like 20, 20, 20, 20, 20. It goes like 20, probably 15, and then it goes down a little bit incrementally from the next wall to the next. But we did see, like, if you had 4 walls behind you or something like that, and you did this big crush move, it did like 60, 80%. It was an insane amount of damage that is actually unbreakable, and if you get that set up, which is going to be very hard to do, it's going to hurt the opponent a lot and limit their mobility options. That might seem broken, and it might seem like he's crazy good, but to be honest, within a lot of other stuff with the character, Aghanos is very unsafe on a lot of his attacks. So you got to be very careful about how you use your resources and where your resources are going to be going. Other than that, he has pretty traditional special moves. This rolling attack can jump around and kind of cross the opponent up, a la Riptor style. He's got this spinning helicopter move, which seems to be a pretty decent opener, maybe an anti-air in some ways. But the one I was really impressed with was this shadow move where he slams the ground and essentially rocks fall from the sky. This move has a lot of recovery, but no matter what happens, if he hits the ground, those rocks are going to be coming, and it somewhat limits the opponent to kind of just sitting there. You kind of just have to deal with the entire situation because you have to block all these rocks that are falling, and this allows Aganos to either get more, to either pick up more rocks off the ground to replenish his resources, or to get in and do damage. What I'm really curious, and I do definitely want to try this out, is that if you have characters that have projectile, invincible, shadow moves, where, for example, if you do, like shadow counters is what I mean, if you shadow counter any one of those rocks with, like, Fulgor or Jago, because they got wind kick and the forward dash, and those things are projectile and vulnerable, does it mean that if you do that during any one of the rock throws, that you can just blast through the whole thing and totally wreck Aganos? That'd be a pretty big counter matchup, especially considering he would not be able to do that anymore. Either way, that looks like a very interesting move. It looks very visually appealing as well. And then you got the one that is kind of so awesome looking it hurts, is that you get to smash the wall behind you. If there is a wall behind you, use a resource on it, but you can actually smash the wall and turn it into a giant club. And this club is insanely big, covers like 3/4 of the screen from full screen away distance. You can sweep people from really far, you can cancel it into an overhead, you can chain attack it into combos, but it only has 3 hits durability, so you can only hit somebody on block or hit 3 times and then it crushes and goes away. But if you use his instinct, it gets him an infinite replenishing giant club. So one crushes away and then a second later it comes back in his hand. So you always have this resource available to you. And it seems freaking good because he has a special command grab that is only with the club. And this is, I think, the only technical command grab he has. But it's performed just by doing the regular grab with light punch and light kick. And you can grab the opponent, throw him straight in the air like you're about to like hit a baseball into like a field, and he literally just batter-ups and whacks them, and they go flying across, I think, the entire screen. It was a very, very, very large distance. And what's even crazier is that you cannot tech this move. It acts like a command grab, so it beats out regular throws. Now, what's crazy about it, and this is the best part, and this is like pretty much the hype beam of Aganos, if you have walls behind the opponent, right, you stick like, you know, a couple of walls behind him, and you manage to land that command grab with the bat in hand, you throw him up, you do the wind-up thing, and you smack them, and they go through the walls for an insane amount of damage. That's so awesome, it hurts. I'm really excited just to do something like that, and you better believe I'm going to be trying to get as much practice in with the character as soon as he comes out, so we can maybe pull some stuff like that off in the week of. But what did you guys think of Aganos during the breakdown? There was a lot of other balance adjustments, which I'd like to talk about in a future video, and my overall Fulgor impressions in the current or the last update. There's some small changes happening to Fulgor in terms of damage, but I really wanted to talk about his character as far as the last couple of play sessions I've had and what I feel about him. But as always, dudes, thank you a ton for watching, thank you for hanging out, and let me know what you think about Aganos in the comments below, and I'll be back with more footage and some exclusive matches, and we're gonna get a big, beautiful render of his Ultra Combo and Sage Finisher as soon as possible, so look forward to that. I appreciate any thumbs up if you guys enjoyed the video. My name is Max, and I'll see you next time.